Welcome back to GMA3, everybody. We're about to take you a world away where an American rock musician is hitting a note full of hope for girls facing oppression in Afghanistan.
That's right. Guitarist Lanny Cordola is behind this effort, and he's getting some star-studded help teaching dozens of girls not only how to play guitar, but to celebrate the joy that music can bring. Here's ABC's senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell.
In a country racked by war and want, where the 9/11 attacks were planned, where American troops have fought and died for almost 20 long years, what you're witnessing, what you're listening to, is the rare sound of hope.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They are the miraculous love kids of Afghanistan, part of the Girls with a Guitar project run by American rock musician Lanny Cordola. Turning his back on a life dedicated to the pursuit of fame and fortune in LA, he headed eastwards to help street kids in Afghanistan through the power of music.
That was always the goal, to use music as a portal to deeper aspects of life.
I mean, you know, it's proven, you know, that kids that learn music, their brain functions are wired, you know, in a more harmonious, elevated fashion, and just to see these, you know, develop has, you know, been remarkable, you know. So, yeah.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Musicians from the Foo Fighters, Rage Against the Machine, the Go-Go's and others collaborated on the girls' cover of the Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams last year. The guitars they play were chosen and donated by Hollywood star Kiefer Sutherland, who was moved by the girls' story when he met Lanny through a mutual friend.
It's just amazing to see, you know, these young children who have been through poverty and war and families being torn apart, that they can still find joy and a desire to learn, and positive aspects of their lives through this incredibly difficult time is just moving, and it's inspiring.
Afghanistan's ranked the worst country in the world to be a child. Almost half the country lives in poverty. And for millions of children, school is just a dream, and they must work the streets to help their families survive.
What was life like before Mr. Lanny, before the guitars?
Before Mr. Lanny is not here, my life is very hard life.
How?
Because we work in industry.
Yeah, working in the industry, not going to school. I'm seeing the children going to school. I'm very sad. Why not me going to school?
But for these girls, Lanny has helped change all that.
Mr. Lanny is helping you going to school, not working in the street. I'm very happy. She's Mr. Lanny coming to Afghanistan, help everybody, family.
But when you play the guitar, how do you feel?
I play the guitar, my feeling is that my heart is very be quiet. I'm also, when I play guitar, my feeling is very good. Life very good because we have Mr. Lanny in my life. We grow life.
Now the girls have another single, a cover of the 80s hit Fly Like an Eagle by the Steve Miller Band.
Fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me.
With the girls playing virtually alongside Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Sammy Hagar. But this is a dangerous country to be a girl with a guitar, let alone ambition. Lanny and the girls are all too aware of the dangers, and they must keep a low profile here. But the ambition, the hope, is to perhaps bring a little peace and progress, one song at a time.
I think, you know, you start with our little group to work towards that grand ideal, and hopefully, you know, it spreads more and more if we used our resources and our funding in the right ways.
And we want to bring in ABC News senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell, now back in London after that report from Afghanistan. Ian, what a beautiful, powerful story about what music means. It's a universal language, truly, but give us the latest on everything that you were reporting on.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare to give you some positive news from Afghanistan because the overall picture is the complete opposite. This is the Taliban, the militants who've been effectively at war with America, with British troops, NATO troops over the last almost 20 years now. This has been America's longest war. We overthrew the Taliban because they were harboring al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, who of course masterminded the 9/11 attacks. Now the Taliban control more territory than at any time since that war began back in September 2001. They're stronger, they're more confident, they're on the offensive. Meanwhile, you've got US troops starting to withdraw, 2,500 US troops in the country, now rapidly leaving, along with 7,000 NATO forces, leaving the Afghans to essentially manage this fight on its own. And those girls, the civilians there, they're going to have to deal with what the future holds.
Well,
guys?
the future, and something just recently here, just this month, there was a deadly attack in Kabul that targeted schoolgirls. Now, tell me how any of this and all this plays into some of the girls we just heard from today.
Yeah, I mean, we don't hear about it every day, TJ, but the situation on the ground is dire. This terrible attack on one particular girls' school, this is in Kabul, in the capital. More than 80 girls were killed, many more were wounded. Why were they targeted? They were targeted just because they're girls, just because they're getting an education, and this is what the extremists hate. The Taliban said they didn't carry it out, but it isn't just the Taliban. ISIS, al-Qaeda are still in the country. We also met schoolgirls and the guitar girls, and they have two things on their mind. One is fear about what the future holds, but secondly, clinging on to the hope, the development, the progress that they've made, and hope that that can continue. Guys?
Well, incredible, incredible reporting, things we really need to know and understand and hopefully can do something about. Ian Panel, thank you so much for your reporting. We appreciate it.